Hello, welcome to Brick Speak, the podcast where we break down the most significant military events in history in a simple, clear, and insightful way. Today, we are going back to October 1947 to understand Pakistan's invasion of Jammu and Kashmir, how it was planned, what tactics were used, and why it's still relevant today. It is a story of strategy, propaganda, and brute force, all leading to one of the most significant turning points in Indian history. Let's start with some background. At the time of India's partition, Jammu and Kashmir was a princely state ruled by Maharaja Hari Singh, who initially tried to remain neutral. He signed a standstill agreement with Pakistan to maintain peace and status quo. But Pakistan had other ideas. Seeing Jammu and Kashmir's Muslim majority, they believed it should naturally belong to them and thus began a careful mix of strategy and narrative building to justify their ambitions. After partition, large waves of refugees, Hindus, Muslims, and Sikhs flooded both sides of the new border. The chaotic migrations and violence became a fertile ground for manipulating emotions. Pakistan began spreading the propaganda that the Maharaja was anti Muslim and that Muslims in J&K were being oppressed. This was carefully planned. Refugee stories were used to stoke passions. Religious leaders urged tribal fighters to join the jihad. This narrative soon became a call to action, and large tribal militia, primarily from the Pakistan's northwest frontier province, were ready to liberate Kashmir. The only road coming to Srinagar was through what had now become Pakistan. The communications, post and telegraph services, petrol, trade was along this road. Pakistan stopped supplies of essentials and also started conducting raids into the state of Jammu and Kashmir. Pakistan also started spreading lies saying that the Hindu Raja was killing Muslims of the state as well as those who were crossing from the west to the east. The aim of Pakistan's plan was to split the state's army into tiny groups. As it is, the Jammu and Kashmir state forces were not equipped, trained, or organized to fight against a regular army, but was doing more of a policing duties. The forces were composed of Muslims, Hindus, and Sikhs. Major Akbar Khan undertook actions to subvert the loyalties of the Muslim soldiers who killed their Hindu comrades, including officers. The Britishers were spending crores of rupees in terms of doles given to the people of frontier in return for maintaining peace. Their campaigns in the past in the region had resulted in massive casualties at the hands of tribesmen. Newly formed Pakistan had neither the resources nor the willingness to do the same. Another problem was Badshah Khan, who is also known as the Frontier Gandhi. He was secular in his approach. Had the tribesmen and the Khud Mukhtar party of Badshah Khan joined hands, it would have been a nightmare situation for Pakistan. So, Pakistan inflamed passion, created lawlessness, rendered the authorities paralyzed. With availability of highly charged tribesmen on the call of Islam in danger, the ground was ideal for an invasion which was named Operation Gulmar. Two independent sources corroborated these plans. The details of the corroborated input can be read in your prescribed book. Each tribal Lashkar was mandated to recruit 1,000 men armed and equipped with support from Pakistan's military. Supplies and logistics were strategically staged ahead of their deployment. Concentrated at number of places poised to enter Jammu and Kashmir. Army officers were attached with each Lashkar for professional advice. Lashkars moved predominantly at night to avoid detection. The plans were so secretive that even lower level personnel did not have complete details of their objective until the last moment. The blueprint of the invasion. Now let's get into Pakistan's Operation Gulmar, a well documented and highly organized plan for the invasion. By 21st October 1947, the 7th Infantry Division of the Pakistan Army had concentrated troops near Mari Abbottabad. Their task to support and direct the tribal militia as they invaded J&K. Here's how Operation Gulmarg unfolded. Tribal militia would serve as the vanguard, attacking Muzaffarabad, Baramulla, and onward to Srinagar. Armed Muslim raiders from Punjab were sent in with explicit instruction to wreak havoc and spread terror. Civilian transport like trucks and buses were repurposed to move fighters discreetly. At the same time, Pakistan launched probing attacks in areas like Ranveer Singhpura, Punch, and Jammu to stretch the defenses of the state forces. The goal The goal was to divide the attention of state troops, keeping them pinned to multiple fronts. They also wanted to clear the path to Srinagar, capture the capital before reinforcements could arrive. On 22nd October 1947, the invasion began. Muzaffarabad was the first to fall, and the attackers moved swiftly towards Baramulla. But the plan wasn't purely military. Pakistan relied on brute force and terror. Baramulla was plundered, its residents brutalized, creating fear and panic across the state. Atrocities committed by the tribal Lashkars caused severe devastation, halting any local resistance. Meanwhile, attacks in Punch and Ranveer Singhpura forced the state forces to spread thin. The purpose of these distractions was to prevent reinforcements from defending Srinagar and leave the valley vulnerable. We will now see the plan on map. Six Lashkars were planned to be inducted through Muzaffarabad and come for Srinagar airfield and Banihal. They were to take the route from Muzaffarabad to Domel, Uri, Baramulla, and on to Srinagar. To give protection to its right flank, two Lashkars moved from Hajipir Pass and their target was Gulmarg. Another two moved from Titwal and they provided the flank protection to the main force of six Lashkars moving towards Srinagar from the north. They were tasked to capture Sopore, Handwara, and Bandipur. 10 Lashkars were tasked to capture Punch, Rajouri, and after that advance to Jammu. After capturing the airfield in Srinagar, the six Lashkars moving from Muzaffarabad were to proceed towards Banihal to block any reinforcements being planned from India. As the attackers advanced towards Srinagar, the situation for Maharaja Hari Singh became critical. The tribal militias were within striking distance of the Srinagar airfield, the gateway to the state. Without reinforcements, the fall of Srinagar would have been inevitable. Realizing the danger, the Maharaja reached out to India. On 26th October 1947, the Maharaja signed the Instrument of Accession, formally making Jammu and Kashmir a part of India. India responded immediately. On 27th October 1947, Indian troops were airlifted to Srinagar. The arrival of Indian Army was a decisive moment. The focus was on securing Srinagar airfield, the lifeline for further reinforcements. Troops engaged with tribal militias and halted their advance. The swift response from the Indian Army not only stopped the attackers but also allowed the state to regain control. The timely decision saved Kashmir Valley from falling into the hands of Pakistan backed forces. Looking back at Pakistan invasions, we see a calculated plan. Concentrating forces like 7th Infantry Division near border was part of the plan. Pakistan used tribal fighters and militia as the first line of attack, portraying the invasion as a religious crusade to save co-religionists and use of diversion tactics by attacking Punch and Jammu to divide attention and weaken defense lines. Pakistan's strategy was effective initially, causing chaos and overwhelming the state forces. However, its reliance on tribal fighters backfired when undisciplined plundering delayed their momentum. India's swift and strategic response, starting with the airlift of troops on 27th October, marked the turning point and foiled Pakistan's ambition. With this, I come to the end of today's episode. You're requested to please like, share, and comment. Keep working hard. Jai Hind.